People will see these sacrifices from you and from me on the movie that I'm gonna make with you, Be My Cat. We'll see these sacrifices. People will see that we sacrificed everything, our whole lives, our whole personal lives, for the sake of this movie. And all the people around the world, they will be stunned by what they will see.
Hello, my name is Pavel and welcome back to my channel. One thing about me is that I absolutely adore POV horror movies. It's really specific, but I've had this relationship with POV horror movies ever since I've been like 12 or 13 years old. I remember watching like the Blair Witch Project for the first time, or even Paranormal Activity for the first time, and I was absolutely in love. I grew up watching POV horror movies and they just have a special place in my heart. Specifically, POV horror movies. Those are the movies that make me absolutely terrified. If there's anything that scares me and keeps me up at night, it is movies like Creep, for example. I remember watching Creep for the first time and I could not sleep that night because it just felt so realistic, and I was absolutely terrified that somebody was going to come to my house and leave a box and then kill me in a park. And POV in general just feels really rewarding when you watch it, because I feel like there's so many really bad horror movies, and whenever POV does it right, it does it right. It feels really rewarding, and it feels like a great achievement whenever there's just an amazing POV horror movie, both for obviously the director and for me, because I've found a POV horror movie that is great. And I feel like I've said POV horror movie so many times, so I'm just gonna stop saying that because I just need to stop. And in general, it just brings me back to my teenage years, and I feel like these movies kind of like made me fall in love with film. I also remember whenever I was a teenager, I remember really struggling to find new movies. I remember there was a point where I was like, I think I've seen every horror movie ever. And how stupid was I? But it also makes me really happy because I found so many new movies that I can watch now and fall in love with. And there's a movie today that I'm going to be watching that I cannot wait for. I was watching Papa Meat, or Meat Canyon, whatever you want to call him, and he made a video wherever he spoke about new found footage movies that you need to watch, and one of these movies was called Be My Cat. And I watched this video like 3 weeks ago, and this movie has been like in my brain ever since, and I've been like, ooh, I feel like I need to check this movie out because I cannot stop thinking about it. From what I remember from the video, it is a guy from Romania filming a demo movie to showcase to Anne Hathaway because he's absolutely obsessed with her, and he's trying to show her that he's like a good actor or a good director, something like that. And he hires actresses, and he kind of like, you know, is obviously a little bit insane, and he kills them. And it has been on my mind for weeks, and I really want to watch it. And in his video, he said that it is one of those movies that will haunt you and will genuinely terrify you and make you feel just very scared, and that really appeals to me. And I'm home alone, and it is quite dark outside, and I feel like this is just the perfect thing to do, is to watch this movie. And that's exactly what I'm going to be doing today, and I cannot wait, because every single time I find, I'm going to say it again, I'm sorry, a POV horror movie, I just get so happy. Even if it's shit, I'm still gonna watch it because I just fucking love them. And from the little clip that I saw from the video, it looked really realistic. And the thing about these movies, if they look realistic and feel like they could actually happen, then I'm gonna be more terrified, and I'm also gonna be more in love with the movie. And from the little clip that I remember, it looked really like realistic, and I cannot wait to watch this movie because it is going to be fun. Even if it's not incredible, it's going to be good. It's going to be a great time, and I cannot wait. I'm so excited, if you cannot tell. It is also a low budget movie. If you know me, you know that I love low budget movies, and it is a Romanian movie, as I've mentioned. I've not watched any movies from Romania, so this is like ticking all the boxes. Watching movies from new countries, can't wait. Low budget, great. POV found footage, great. Cannot wait. It's gonna be so good, and I'm so fucking excited. My predictions are, I hope it is gruesome. I hope it makes me shit myself, not literally. And yeah, low budget, make me shit myself, and I'm gonna be happy. And I know it's like less than 90 minutes, so this is ticking all the boxes, and I feel like I need to stop talking because I'm just blabbering, and I really want to go watch this movie. So that's exactly what I'm gonna go do. Ooh, phone just fell, aka my microphone. So I think this is a sign that I need to go watch this movie right now. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. So see you in like 90 minutes.
I'll show you those things when I will work with these actresses, with the actresses that will come in a couple of days. You will see. And I know your psychology, I know you, and because I saw a lot, I saw thousands of clips with you, I saw all your movies, and I know your psychology, and I created this role, I adapted it especially for you.
Okay, hello. I have watched Be My Cat, a film for Anne, or whatever the fuck it's called, and that was... Okay, I wouldn't say it was terrifying, because there's no time throughout that movie where I was like, holy shit, I'm so scared, but it was one of the most disturbing, awkward, and uncomfortable movies that I have watched in years, maybe ever. This is a movie, how do I even explain it, where you are not even sure if what is happening is real, although you know kind of it is a movie. The performances, especially from Adrian, who is the main guy, he's the guy who directed it, produced it, he acts in it, he like edited the movie, he's the cinematographer, everything. He basically did everything in this movie, and this movie is also low budget, 10 grand, I believe. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. This movie made me feel so awkward. There were so many times where I was like, this guy, this feels so real, and it is so, like, there's so many times where I was like, I sat like that watching the movie for so many reasons. But before I speak about this movie, let me read you the synopsis, and then from the synopsis I'm gonna tell you loads of facts about this movie that I found and all my opinions, because I have so many notes. But if you want to know immediately what I thought, if you want, like, do I like it or not, I really fucking liked it, and it feels like a hidden gem that I've never heard anybody speak about until I watched the video that I mentioned earlier. And I feel like more people need to watch this movie. And I know he has a new movie coming out sometime. It's like a part of this trilogy that Be My Cat is a part of, or something along those lines. Anyway, I'm going to read you the synopsis and we'll get on with this review. An aspiring Romanian filmmaker, an actor obsessed with Hollywood actress Anne Hathaway, tries to convince her to come to Romania and star alongside him in his upcoming film. He goes to shocking extremes, using 3 local actresses to shoot demo scenes to send to Anne as proof of his filmmaking and acting skills. And holy fuck, the first thing that I need to start off by saying with this movie is that Adrian, the guy who, you know, did everything, Adrian Tofi, I believe his name, this is his first movie, and it is Romania's first found footage movie, which is really fucking cool to start off with. And I think the creepiest thing about this movie, I'm going to get straight into it, the creepiest thing about this movie is the acting. The fucking guy, Adrian, he is such a good actor because he is a fucking psychopath. Every scene in this movie, even at the start, the very start of the movie, he's like, hello, Anne, and he's like, I'm going to be making a movie for you, and I love you, and I think you deserve me, and I deserve you. And the way he acts in this movie, I'll try to put clips in throughout this video.
Hello, Anne. My name is Adrian. I'm from Romania, and I want to make a movie with you. Let me take this camera away from the tripod.
It is fucking terrifying. He has tunnel vision. He listens to absolutely nobody. He has a goal in his head and nothing will stop him, and he believes he deserves Anne, and he has this fucking idea in his head that he's a great director, that he's great at making movies, even though like the actual movie that he is making is fucking horrible. He's perverted. He needs help in every single way. This guy is fucked up, and Adrian acts incredibly, because between the broken English, which adds to the kind of like creepiness because he's not able to entirely communicate what he wants to say, and it kind of adds to the like awkwardness of the movie, like the cringiness, I suppose, of this movie. And so absolutely, Adrian, I'm so excited to see what this guy is going to do next, because every scene in this movie, it's obviously centered around him. It is filmed like a big 90-minute YouTube vlog, except he kills people throughout it. He kind of loses his mind, even though he kind of already had his marbles gone. And the performances are absolutely incredible. And you know what the scary thing was? I think this is true, he only hired the 3 actresses, so whenever he spoke English to them, they knew that they were actually playing a character. And everybody else in the movie, because there's loads of people that walk past, like a bus driver, and maybe like there's like this older lady, and just people that walk past on the street, they have no idea that there's a movie being filmed. And whenever he's in the house torturing somebody and somebody's fucking screaming, everybody in the neighborhood and the police that are going by do not know that it's a movie. So that is fucking terrifying, because if anybody heard screams coming from next door, they're like, oh, somebody's fucking getting killed and we need to help them. And there's literally a scene where the police come, and I don't even know if the police are involved in the movie, because this movie makes you question what the fuck is actually real and what is being acted. And I absolutely love that movie because it kind of makes you feel super uncertain, but it's also so creative that this can be done in such a small budget and such a creepy movie can be made. It's bizarre. There's so many things that I need to say. I'm actually going to go through my list of notes instead of like jumping ahead of myself. Whenever I find a really good found footage movie, I become so passionate about it, and I absolutely love it. Okay, so the first thing that I have is that this movie is very difficult to find. I had to go through loads of websites, and I finally found it through a weird link on YouTube that I could rent, which was absolutely great. This movie felt absolutely realistic, which I absolutely love. The shots in this movie, there's like shots that last like 15 minutes of him just like holding the camera, moving it to somebody else, and him being like, I love Anne Hathaway, what do you think? And he starts like filming, and it's just so creepy, and it is great because I feel like if it was like very quick, snappy editing with like music in the background, you would not have that authentic feel to the movie, and this movie felt really authentic, and I absolutely love that because it added to the creepiness, to the realism of the movie, and that is what I look for in fucking movies like this. It's perfect. I love it. This guy is like a fucking master, a manipulator. He has like this ridiculous parasocial relationship with Anne Hathaway because he saw her in Dark Knight Rises dressed as Catwoman, and he was like, yep, I'm absolutely in love with her. I want to work with her. She's going to be an actress in one of my movies, and I'm going to show her my script that I didn't even know if the script exists. This guy's fucking crazy. The script probably isn't real, and he's making it up as he goes along, and he thinks he deserves Anne Hathaway. And the one thing that I also have in my notes later on is that I wonder, does Anne Hathaway know that this movie exists? Because if she does, I would love to hear how this makes her feel, because like it's obviously not real, right? But it's also so creepy. So I would love to know how she feels about that, if she knows about it, because holy fuck, it is bizarre. So we have the three actresses, and small spoiler, two of them die. One thing that I would really like more from this movie, this is like my only critique, and I'm even going to justify why this happens in the movie. I would love more gore. And you know, I wouldn't say this is like a direct horror. I would say it's kind of like a psychological POV horror, because the thing that is creepy is obviously the acting. It is the mindset behind everything. It is the concept as a whole. But I feel like if we kind of saw more gore, it would make it even more disgusting. But it makes sense why they don't have a lot of gore, because one, that is expensive to do practically, and the budget was very small. So it's fine. It's absolutely fine. It makes sense. And I know he has another movie coming out, and I cannot wait to watch that, because if it is as weird as that, then I am there. I am absolutely there, and I wish somebody told me about this movie years ago whenever I was a teenager watching it, because if Creep had such a strong impact on me that didn't feel as realistic as this did, I wonder what this would have done for me. Like, I feel like Be My Cat is a movie that you really need to kind of pay attention to. It's not a movie that's very like in your face, that's not like every single shot is over the top. It is the development of characters and their relationships, and the fact that Adrian falls in love with one of the actresses, and all these little things that make this movie absolutely terrifying. It is not what you see. It's kind of like, well, it is kind of what you see, because I guess some people get killed. And you know, I'm not trying to be mean, but Adrian looks fucking weird, because he always has this very weird smile. Every time he even talks about killing people and everything uncomfortable, he always just giggles and smiles, and it's weird. It's just weird. Like, this movie is so fucking weird. And I love the POV. I love how this movie is shot. I feel like if this was shot in any other way, it just would not work, because it feels like, as I said, it feels like a YouTube vlog. It feels super personal. Like, there's so many shots where his face is so close to the camera, and you see it's like from below, and you see his like chin, and I don't know. I feel like the amateur elements of this movie, and it's shot so like it's like a fucking ghetto movie, and I love that. And I don't know how many times am I gonna repeat myself throughout this video. Probably so fucking many. Another fact about this movie is that all the scenes in this movie are first takes, because Adrian did multiple takes in the beginning, and then he realized that the first ones are always the most natural and authentic, and then decided to only include the first takes in the final cut. And I would love to somehow be like a fly in the wall during that production, because once again, I'm still not sure what was real. Did the actress actually call the police? Probably not, but I'm not too sure. And I love the fact, Like, there are scenes throughout this movie that you can tell are shot for the first time, because like the actresses kind of like giggle, but they're not really sure if they're meant to giggle. But Adrian, fair fucks to Adrian, because he stays in character the entire time. There's one scene where he's at the end he's speaking about Anne, and then he's slowly falling in love with one of the girls, and she's maybe a little bit breaking character, but the camera turns back to Adrian and he has this fucking psychotic face on him, and he doesn't break character, and it is so impressive. The dedication to the craft to this movie is fucking incredible, and it makes me so happy that such a low budget movie, a movie that can be made by anybody, has had success like this, because it's really inspiring for other people. It's very motivating. It's motivating for people like me, and I just love that you don't need this like big massive 30 million budget to have a great creepy movie. This is fine. It's incredible. And you know, I'm going to repeat myself once again, this is an absolute hidden gem. If you want something that is super creepy, that is going to make you feel really uncomfortable, and you're not going to realize if what is on the screen is real or not, then you need to watch Be My Cat, a film for Anne, because it's great. I feel like whenever I read some reviews, there was a lot of like critique being like, oh, it's awkward, like the shots are really long and blah, blah, blah. That's the fucking point. That is what we want in a movie like this, and I absolutely loved it. And I hope my review actually made sense, because once again, I get so passionate about a good found footage movie that my thoughts become so jumbled, but it is so solid. It is a solid movie. It is less than 90 minutes long. If you are into found footage horror movies and you've never heard of this, and if you want something that is going to make you feel very uneasy, I feel like it's an experience everybody has to have if you are into those type of movies. Even if you don't like it, it's just good to watch. So definitely go check out this movie. Shout out to Adrian Tofi. I really hope I'm saying his name right. I'm from Lithuania, so I know the struggles of trying to pronounce names, people not being able to understand your name correctly, so I know the fucking struggle. But anyway, I think that's everything I have to say. I had such a great time. Have you ever seen this movie? What did you think of it? Please let me know, and thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.